If nothing really shifts right now, this year won't feel new at all, just heavier. There'll be more expectations, more pressure, and more quiet moments of thinking, I thought I'd be further by now. And if that thought feels familiar, this video is for you. Because this isn't about setting better goals, trying harder, or adding more to your plate. It's about the way you're seeing your life right now. Most people enter a new year carrying the same inner dialogue, and then they wonder why nothing really changes. The women who experience real shifts don't start with action. They start with perspective. They question the stories they've been telling themselves. So before you make shallow promises and set goals that won't be achieved, there's something that has to change first. The way you see things, what you believe, and where you're actually headed. In this video, I'll share 5 mindset shifts that can quietly, but completely, unlock a year beyond what you thought was possible. So let's get right into it. Number 1, align yourself with the solution. Most of the noise around us is focused on what's wrong. Social media, conversations, even our own thoughts. They linger on problems, frustration, and what didn't work. And without realizing it, we stay there longer than we should. But every minute you spend replaying what went wrong is a minute taken away from building something better. The women who create real momentum in their lives don't ignore problems. They just don't live inside them. Let's say you worked on something for weeks, a project, an idea, a plan you were genuinely excited about, and it didn't land the way you hoped. The response was flat, plans changed at the last minute, or someone questioned it, and suddenly you're replaying everything in your head, wondering what you did wrong. Instead of staying stuck in this is hard or this shouldn't have happened, ask a different question almost immediately. Okay, what do I do about it? That small shift changes everything. When your default response becomes solution-oriented, you stay calmer in chaos, you conserve your energy, and you stop feeding situations that simply don't deserve it. Over time, you start attracting people and opportunities that want to build, not complain. Because energy shifts when you stop bonding with the problem and start aligning yourself with the solution. Number 2, remember that everything is a choice. Most of the time, life starts to feel heavy when we forget that we're choosing it. We move through our days saying things like, I have to do this, I have to answer that email, I have to go to the gym, I have to keep up, and slowly everything starts to feel like an obligation. But the reality is that you have thousands of options available in how you spend your time and make a living. Almost everything in your life is a choice, even the things you don't enjoy. You choose how you spend your time, you choose what you commit to, you choose what you tolerate, and you choose what you keep saying yes to. So if you really want to, you can choose another destiny. This reframe changes everything about how you show up. That doesn't mean every choice is easy. It just means you're not as trapped as you think. So instead of saying, I have to, try shifting the language for 1 full week. Say, I get to, or I choose to. Then notice what happens to your energy levels when obligation becomes intention. And if there's something in your life that still feels heavy after that shift, maybe you need to be asking a bigger question. Do you actually want this in your life? Or is it just something you've been carrying out of habit, guilt, or expectation? The women who create extraordinary results don't see themselves as victims of their schedules or circumstances. They take radical ownership of their time. They don't feel trapped by their calendar because at some point they actively chose it. And when you remember that everything is a choice, you start showing up differently, more grounded, more honest, and more in control. Number 3, stop trying to control the outcome. One of the biggest reasons people get stuck is because they become overly attached to a specific outcome, a specific result, a specific timeline, a very narrow idea of what success is supposed to look like. And without realizing it, that attachment blinds them to possibilities that are actually bigger. The truth is, you don't really know what's possible for your life yet. The goals you're holding onto might not be too ambitious. They might be too small. So instead of obsessing over results, shift your attention to what you can control, your inputs. Show up, try things, run small experiments, notice what works and what doesn't, without making it mean anything about you. Think about going to the gym. If you fixate on how your body should look in 1 month, you'll either burn out or give up. But when you focus on the input, getting dressed, showing up, pushing yourself a little more each time, you stay consistent long enough for real change to happen. Or think about starting a YouTube channel. If you're constantly waiting for the next viral video, you lose the point completely. And honestly, it rarely comes that way anyway. You can't rely on the randomness of an algorithm. You can only rely on your input. Real success comes from years of steady work, even if no one talks about that anymore. The people who build something meaningful aren't attached to one perfect vision of how it has to unfold. They stay curious, they adjust, they respond to what's actually happening. When you stop gripping the outcome so tightly and allow yourself to experiment instead, you create space for opportunities you couldn't have planned for. And that's often how things grow far beyond what you originally imagined. imagined. Number 4, ask, what if you fly? So many of our decisions are shaped by fear. Fear of failing, fear of being embarrassed, fear of what people might think if it doesn't work. And most of the time, that fear doesn't stop us from doing reckless things. It stops us from doing the one thing that could actually change something. Most of us keep asking, what if I fall? But rarely pause to ask the second part, oh, but my darling, what if you fly? This is a well-known quote by poet Erin Hansen, and it captures something we rarely stop to consider. What if you don't fall? What if you surprise yourself? What if this works out in ways you can't see yet? The people who take risks don't do it because they're fearless. They do it because they understand something most people forget. The upside of moving is almost always bigger than the downside of staying still. So bet on your own capability, even when the outcome feels uncertain, especially then. Write down the move you've been avoiding, the message you haven't sent, the ask you haven't made, the thing you've been overthinking instead of starting. Then look at the worst realistic outcome, not the dramatic one your fear keeps replaying, the realistic one. Most of the time, it's not nearly as bad as the story in your head, because sometimes the biggest risk is never finding out what would have happened if you tried. And sometimes you don't fall, you fly. Number 5, choose your 5th shift. The 5th mindset shift isn't something I can give you. It's something only you can choose, because only you know the belief standing between who you are right now and the version of you you're trying to become. Maybe it's letting go of perfectionism. Maybe it's trusting yourself or other people more fully. Maybe it's finally believing you deserve the success you're working toward. Your growth doesn't follow someone else's blueprint, and neither does the shift that will unlock your next level. Now take 15 quiet minutes. Ask yourself one honest question. What belief is holding me back right now? Write it down. Then write the opposite belief next to it. And for the next 30 days, choose to live as if that new belief is true. Pay attention to what changes in how you think, in how you show up, and in what you allow yourself to want. This shift, chosen by you and for you, might be the most powerful one of all. You already know the answer if you're willing to get honest with yourself. If you want to be serious about this shift, write it in the comments down below as a commitment to yourself, because when you openly share it with the world, you hold yourself accountable. We'll keep each other accountable here, and sometimes knowing someone else can see it is exactly what makes you follow through. Because real change doesn't happen in theory, it happens in the small, daily choices you make when no one is watching, and this is one of those choices. Showing up for yourself consistently is how confidence is built, and confidence is what changes everything. When you choose yourself consistently, your life starts to reflect that choice in ways you never had to force. That way, everything little by little falls into place. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you made it this far, I hope you're having a beautiful day or a peaceful night. If you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. And if this video resonated with you, you're always welcome to like, comment, or share. Until next time, stay soft, stay intentional, and enjoy the process. Take care.